Hey guys, welcome back. It's Brandon.Therapist, and I'm joined by the wife.
Hello.
You can find her on Instagram at Lauren.Spoonfull. And it's been a long time since we've both been able to do this together.
Yes.
So it feels good to have the wife back.
I've been working.
Tax season. Dreadful.
Yes.
So today, we want to get into dating.
We're dating.
We are dating.
we date each other. But we're not talking about us dating, married couples dating. We're talking about
Singles.
single people 30 and over.
And the struggles that have been going on with dating as of recently.
Mm-hmm.
So as I work, I understand that there are a lot of different expectations when it comes to dating. And this has been a struggle for many people that I work with as they're looking for a long-term spouse.
Right.
The biggest problem with that is that it's hard to find a long-term spouse this day and age.
Yes.
And people want to blame it on being unfaithful and everything else. Personally, I believe it's the... Does that make sense? Personally, I believe.
You recommend?
I believe it's dating apps. Dating apps give the perceived notion of choice versus back in the day, you were hooked up with either a blind date through a friend, you met somebody while out, and your choices were limited to the space that you were in.
Right.
But now all you gotta do is punch in the zip code.
And it's hundreds and thousands of
people
to choose from.
So you don't like someone in your own state? Fine, choose a different one.
Sometimes these dating apps allow you to choose qualities that you want in a person. And I believe that they fall victim to the fact that the qualities that were chosen will actually match or matter for them. So the first thing we want to talk about is, did you choose the right qualities in the person you want to date?
Right. And this is an individualistic thing.
Yes. Unscripted today, folks.
And it's early.
It's early in the
Forgive
morning.
me.
Yes, so it is individual.
It's individual.
Yeah.
It's individual. But what do you desire in a person? I give the example that I desire intelligence. I need a woman who can challenge me mentally, because everything else I get bored of really easily.
But you weren't looking for someone to challenge you to say you're stupid, but challenging to bring up topics
and different things to explore, have fun with, help me get a different view.
I'm constantly saying, oh honey, I have a hypothetical. Let's discuss this. And he's always like, what? Where'd you come up with that craziness?
They're typically real examples.
Yes, they are. They happen to people in the world. Yes. So I just kind of throw it together. You know, like, hypothetically, do we run from the bear? Do we? He's like, what? But it helps the brain to think through scenarios. And right. But that's a quality you were looking for.
That's a quality I was looking for. But what qualities are you looking for? You need someone loving, trustworthy. Do you need someone domineering? Do you need someone who's laid back? Do you need someone who's more aggressive and forward in life?
Do you need someone to pick up all the parts that you don't do well in, that it's not natural for you? I'm not a natural empathetic person. I have to work very hard to be empathetic, where
I'm naturally empathetic.
He's naturally empathetic. I didn't seek out somebody who was naturally empathetic, but when I noticed it, I was like, oh good, you know how to say the right things at the right time. I know. I'm like, there. Let's go. Let's take a deep breath. I suck at it. But I'm physically there for people, so that's what matters, right?
You are there for people.
As long as I'm quiet.
And you've become more empathetic than you know.
I could see that, because you're rubbing off a little.
Yes.
A little. But do you know the qualities that you actually want and a spouse, or in your partner rather.
And once you identify those, they help guide you. It helps take the guessing out of your date, because you start to know exactly what you want, and you won't date anyone who doesn't meet your standards.
Right.
So it eliminates the guessing game and make your list shorter. So in a world where you are confronted with a bunch of choices, you now have something that you can use to limit and identify the red flags you see when dating.
Yes.
And so, are your expectations the same as your qualities?
We've had to discuss this even before we started filming, because you can have a quality and someone acts upon that quality in a manner that you weren't expecting.
Yes.
And so you're arguing like, that's not being nice, that's not being faithful, that's not being endearing or whatever. That's that person's way of expressing that quality, and you disagree. So your expectation has not been met. Therefore, if you feel like that person doesn't have that quality, and they might actually do.
Right. So you can't really, you have to expect the person to be themselves and allow them to be themselves. So if they have a quality and they're loving, how do they show love?
Right.
So as I tell clients, you can only love as much as you love yourself, which means whatever pain that you're harboring, it comes out, or whatever things that you've learned that is love or associated to love is how they're going to treat you. So this one gets tricky, because you have to also know how you want to be loved, which is a whole different topic.
That's hard.
It's really challenging,
because it comes back to your childhood for that one.
It comes back to your childhood. It comes back to your dating experience. It comes back to who you date. We'll make another video for that.
When we were dating, I told him I'm not going to play married while dating. So if we are looking towards each other for marriage, then I won't date anybody else. We'll date each other exclusively. But I'm not going to pretend that we're married and only date him and not talk to other people, not hang out with other people, just so we can, feel like we feel like we're exclusive. No, if we're not heading towards marriage, there's no need for me to do that. And so a lot of people consider that to be unfaithful. Other people consider that to be unfaithful. And so the expectation is, for me while dating, what was his expectation while dating? That allowed us to line our qualities and our expectations up together.
Yes.
And so we want a quality of a faithful person. We can show that we're faithful in other ways. And did he accept that? I noticed he was a faithful person because he went to work every day, on time, dedicated, while being a student. That to me is faithful. You know how to get things accomplished and to be dedicated to both school and work. I did not need him not to date another girl to show that he has that characteristic. When we started dating each other exclusively, that's when I got to see that quality carry over to a new topic.
Yes.
So,
that was a fun time in life.
Your expectations line up, do they? Yeah. And that's probably why they're in therapy.
Yeah.
I expect for him to be good with money. I wanted a man that was good with money. He got 50 credit cards.
That's untrue.
No, not with you, but I'm just saying, like, that could be an argument.
Yes, that could be.
Yeah, why people are in therapy.
Both people are bad at money.
But they had the quality. They thought they were dating somebody who was good with money.
Especially if they're educated in it.
Oh. But then their expectation was that you don't spend too much.
Yeah, or you know how to balance a checkbook, and we can go on all these elaborate trips.
But the quality is there, but how that person executes that quality. Clash.
Yes.
Which leads us to the last point.
Well, that's the next point.
Oh, sorry.
And the next point is, you can't change someone.
Right.
Let's get it out there. A person will only change if they are accepting of the change that they want to make, and they have to want it. If they are not ready, they will not change.
Right.
Do not try to get them to change.
Don't waste your time.
And
no, you don't always rub off on people. I know we use that example.
Yeah.
But you don't always rub off on people and that they're going to change in your way, change in a positive way.
And sometimes you rub off on them in a negative way. Because something that you're doing, they don't like, and now they're resistant to even trying anything that you're doing.
Yes. You probably get that a lot, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, I refuse to do A, B, and C just because she wants me to.
And it's a big trust issue in that. And so I changed because I trusted her. And I trusted what we were going and telling each other was correct. If I didn't trust her, there will be no change. It would just be a bunch of resistance. So you have to understand that you cannot change your partner.
No.
Don't try.
Don't try.
They can only change when they are willing.
And that means you chose a quality and their action of that quality doesn't actually match what you're looking for. So if they can't change that quality, that means you have to leave that person.
Yeah.
It's just, it won't work. You can't, don't waste your time.
Or you're going to fight over it forever.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
So allow that person to understand your reasoning. There is a balance for all of this.
Yeah.
But if you allow them to understand your reasoning, give them the insight of why they need to change, they may be willing. But they also have to say that something is wrong with them.
Right.
And no one wants to admit when something is wrong with them.
Yeah. And it may not even be wrong. It's just how they are. Their personality, their build, the way they were raised. It fits for someone else. It just doesn't fit for you.
And because we are accumulation of our experiences throughout our life, that is how we approach other people. I know how each person lived before they say something to me, just in their approach. And it's because that's what they've been through, so that's how they treat everyone around them. Someone who is manipulated all the time is guarded. They're very untrustworthy. They're quiet. They have to scope out the room. This is not just an introverted activity, but they're introverted because of the manipulation that's happened around them. And so they will be resistant to change. Someone who is extroverted may have also been able to trust more people in their lives and been able to talk out things, have people who were honest around them. And so their livelihood was different. Their experiences were different. Overall, if a person presents to you who they are, trust them to be who they are.
And evaluate, is that the quality that you need in a partner? And keep yourself open-minded with expectations of how they're going to act on those qualities. And if not, chuck the deuce. If not, leave that relationship.
Deuces.
It's not always a good fit all the time.
Don't force it.
Don't force it. That's a good tip for those that are 30 and over. You don't have to force it.
Yeah, a bad relationship in the beginning can lead to a divorce later.
A horrible relationship along the way, then divorce.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for that. Life is short.
I can't give away half.
You can, half of what?
Half of nothing. We ain't giving away half.
You talking about for a divorce?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Why half?
Can't give away half.
I only take half your sandwich. That's beside the point.
So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you're having a beautiful week.
Enjoying spring.
Yes, and the beautiful weather that's coming through. Until next video, have a blessed week.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Bye. But you can't expect them to act upon it in the way you want them to act upon it. Like, I'm not as empathetic as you are. You can't expect from me that when I finally become empathetic or have an empathetic moment that I'm going to do it the way you do it, because it's a better quality for you.
You better do it the way I do it.
That's not empathetic.